For those of us in the country growing up black, the Supreme Court had an almost religious aura to it. It was the place that we looked to for salvation. We believed that if anything could help us, if any institution was on our side, it was the Supreme Court.
But it has not always been the case. The institution of the Supreme Court is ever-changing. Of the 9 justices of the Supreme Court, Thurgood Marshall is the first and only African American to serve on the court. His life has been interwoven with the decisions which have affected blacks in the last 40 years. In 1952, it was Thurgood Marshall, as the chief lawyer for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, who argued on behalf of the plaintiff in the Brown versus Board of Education case before the 9 justices. The case grew out of a moment at the Sumner School in Topeka, Kansas, which at the time was a school for whites in a segregated community. The Reverend Oliver Brown, who lived with his family near the Sumner School, decided his daughter Linda should not have to cross these railroad tracks to catch a school bus to go to a black school. May 17, 1954, 17 months after Thurgood Marshall argued the case before the Supreme Court, the decision was handed down. Separate but equal was unconstitutional.
Back in the 30s and 40s, we could go no place but the court. We knew then that the court was not the final solution. Many of us knew the final solution would have to be politics. If for no other reason, politics is cheaper than lawsuits. So now we have both. We have our legal arm and we have our political arm. Let's use them both.